the city itself, so
Thank you.
it's a precursor to all that.
Is there anything you'd like to see from us in addition to this, or anything you'd like to look at?
John?
And I don't know where the mayor is on this, but we're gonna have to revisit our CAT ordinance at some point on how we actually, maybe the ownership aspect of it, of owning a cat in the city, and if you're having an outside cat, what does that look like? We're running into issues where people have neighbors who have infestations of cats who are basically making it inhabitable for people who live next to them because of the smell. And so one of the things that, you know, may be instrumental in that is if we do draft or start moving towards legislation, to have your input and to have you involved in that process would be a big help.
And that's sitting with the Public Safety Committee right now. They started taking that up 3 weeks ago.
Yep.
That is one of the things that we do run through, the low-cost barriers and the public assistance we do, that if somebody has a neighbor that has an overwhelming amount of cats, if they can talk to the neighbor and get them to give us a call, we will help spay and neuter all of those cats, so at least they're not reproducing kittens after kittens after kittens and keeping the problem too large for them to handle.
In fact, that just happened. There's a family, we spayed and neutered 19 cat adults. And
It's 6 litters
yes.
out of 16.
One thing I forgot to mention is at any given time, we may have 150 cats, 7 to 10 dogs, and that can go exponentially up if we have them in foster care. We also have animals in the 3 different adoption centers, which is the Petco, the Choclaw Petco, the PetSmart at 192nd, and there's a Petco up north too in Orchards as well. So we have them all over the place, and we're trying really hard to get them adopted out and keep them coming in and keep them going out.
Okay, just one more thing. I noticed on your presentation you were talking about dog licensing, and the city does already, as far as I know, have a policy as far as licensing, because I've been in to license my dogs. And so I know that there is a requirement. I don't know if it's a requirement, but I know that it's encouraged. How's that?
It's a requirement.
So, it's a requirement.
It's required.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
what I thought. You know, you're just you're sitting over there, and you're like,
It's just a one-time fee.
It's a
though, right?
lifetime.
So
It's a lifetime, yeah,
there's
that's
maybe
what I was
an annual or
told,
something
but,
like that.
yeah, I was surprised to find out about it when I joined the council, so I immediately licensed my animals. So there is already something, at least in Washougal. I don't know about Camas.
I know Camas has a dog licensing requirement because I had to call both cities for a grant proposal that I wrote. And interestingly enough, and it was for a bully breed spay and neuter grant proposal. And when I called both cities, they had really low numbers of pit bulls or pit bull mixes. And I think Washington was 6 total registered.
Registered.
Yeah.
Registered.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's what
Yeah.
that grant
Right.
proposal.
Yeah. Mike?
I've just one question. Regarding the auction that you have, are you accepting items for donation for the auction? Or what type of deadline do you have for that? Because I noticed it's on the 18th. What type of deadline do you have for the auction?
The person that's running it, I used to run the auction, and I turned it over to a great fundraising person, and she is going on maternity leave any minute. She got last week, and so, yeah, so her deadline is probably yesterday, but Christy and I will be here to handle.
I would say about the 12th, we need to get everything, the 10th, so we can get everything printed up with the programs and the brochures and everything.
We have to make all the auction day things and put them in the slideshow. Great.
Any other questions? Thank you very much.
Thank
for being
you.
here
Thank
this
you for
evening.
having us and for inviting us. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I just called this
Archer.
a little flash drive.
I have one thing I wanted to just mention to you. Do we have a requirement for people who pick up their pets from the Humane Society, that their pet must be licensed before they're allowed to pick them up?
I don't think no, I don't think we release them without them being licensed.
Okay, so they
When they come in to pay
have to
the
pay
fines
a
and the
license
impounds
on
and all
top of
that.
that in order to get their pet.
But we don't have a cat license.
Oh, not
Cats.
cats.
That's what we need.
Just on dogs.
Is that what we need? I don't know if we can enforce
We
that.
actually have city code, any animal that creates either a noise or a noxious smell or a health hazard.
Limiting the number.
Yeah,
It came up when Planning Commission was studying chicken code, but that code is in existence. I'm surprised that we can't enforce it.
Mayor was working on that.
We've started.
We can deal with nuisances.
I'm sorry?
Absolutely, we can deal with nuisances, whatever type of animal causes the nuisance. But we don't have an ordinance specifically per se that says, oh, there's a limit on the number of cats or a certain.
No, there's a limit. I mean, if you own a cat, you have to have a license, period. If you don't have a license, if we find it, we should be.
Well, what's wrong with a limit?
One of the more common things to do, and rather than a limit, is you just require a business license for anyone to own more than a certain number of animals, because they have to be breeding them and it has to be a business.
We'll see, why don't we,
Okay, I don't know about that.
why don't we ask for one of the next workshops, if you can bring forth where you're at with public safety on
There's the handout.
the issue of cats, and
Okay.
kind of let everybody start putting some input in there. Okay, we're gonna send this one over to the school district now. Rebecca Minor, the Assistant Superintendent of Schools.
Hi,
Welcome.
thank you for having me here this evening. I had asked David some time ago if I could get onto an agenda just to share what we're doing in East County Community Education, so I'm happy to be here tonight to share the information about this program with you. Part of our motto is schools and communities succeeding together, and I think that this particular partnership is a very fine way that we demonstrate the schools and the community working together. Oh, that's a little bit tough to read up there, I apologize. You do have a copy of the PowerPoint there. A little bit about the partnership details for this program, and then I'll dive into what this provides for the people of the city of Washougal. The city of Washougal does contribute $5,500 per year to the program. Additionally, you provide a link to the program on your website. The school district contributes about $20,000 per year to the program. That's what we have budgeted currently. We provide office and classroom space as well as utilities at no additional cost. Those are not included in the $20,000, some intangibles there. We host the East County Community Ed website and provide all the technical support that those folks need, so they're not charged additionally when their printer goes down or their computer doesn't boot up. We provide administrative oversight and program management, publicity and support for the Parks Department activities. As you're doing those, we link to those, try to get our kids out to support some of those activities as well as our families. And finally, we provide a link to the city's website from our high traffic site. Our site we've seen our district website increase, and we're up to about 9,000 unique users a month, which for a district of about 3,000 students is a lot of hits. Now, a family may have more than one computer they're accessing, or parents may be checking from work, et cetera, but about 9,000 unique computer terminals logging in there per month, which does not include any in-district traffic, so not teachers logging in. And our goals there are to provide high-quality community education courses for the residents of the area, and we do that by advertising programs, registering participants, managing logistics of scheduling and facility use, collecting the fees, and paying the instructors. And this has been a partnership between the city and the schools that's been in place for, as near as anyone can figure out, at least 18 years. Since one of our employees came on board, this has always been a part of it, and we just can't seem to track it much further back. Or I'm sure it goes further